What's up everybody, Obi-Wan or Eagle One Actual, and today I just want to tell you a quick story about how I witnessed a disaster. What I mean by a disaster is the literal meaning, a catastrophe, something bad that happened. And this happened approximately about 19 years ago. I witnessed a plane crash. Yes, I witnessed a wide-body airplane crashing into the ground and burning in just big ball of fire. I'll link this in the description, the article about what happened, so you guys know I'm not making it up. And it happened in 1997, July 31st to be exact. One of our planes, when I used to work at the airport, I worked for FedEx, and we used to work there, and our job was to offload the planes and things of that nature. So and the day began just like any other day. I used to work early in the morning. I remember it was 12 a.m. That's when I started work that day. And just like any other day, you know, we were waiting for the plane so that we can offload it. And the plane I was talking about is flight, I believe it's flight 14. It came from Anchorage, Alaska. So it's an international flight, and usually the freight that came from it came from the Asia market, Japan, China, what have you. So that plane was loaded with freight. So it's a very heavy plane. And yeah, like I said, we were just waiting. And I mean, you look at it from a distance, you know, when it's landing, it just kind of it looks like you have no idea. It's just landing. It's just, the plane was just landing, and then all of a sudden it just kind of hit the ground, and big ball of fire. But yeah, it's yeah, it was that night, so we really couldn't make it out that much. All I knew is that, you know, we were like, whoa, what the heck happened there? Basically what happened was that the plane was landing, and I believe he was coming in kind of fast, and then he hit the ground. And you know, when you're looking at the planes, you really can't gauge how fast they're going, because from a distance they look like they're going in slow motion, but in reality they're going about 300 miles an hour while they're landing and taking off also. But yeah, you know, he was just kind of just easing down, and then all of a sudden he hit, and then kind of we really can't tell, but from what we read, you know, he hit the ground, he bounced up, and then tried to land back down again. And what happened is the right landing gear snapped, and then the right engine hit the ground, hit the runway. And then from there it just kind of tipped over and turned to the left, and just kind of did a barrel roll, spun, and the wings snapped right off, and the fuel cells, the fuel tanks ruptured. So it was a big ball of fire. And looking at it from a distance, you really, you know, you think it's, you know, you would hear like an explosion or something like that. But from afar, it was just like a flash, and you see like explosion. I mean, it's like, you know, like all of a sudden it was dark, so bright, and then it's a lot of smoke, and then we couldn't really make it out that much. But all I saw was just big, kind of like a slow motion, kind of like a flame and ball of fire. But so basically what happens is the plane, by the way, is a MD-11. It's a 3-engine plane, so there's two engines under the wing, and then one in the tail. And so that's what it looks like. You'll see what it looks like in the article. But basically what happens, it tipped over to the right, and the engine hit, and then the wings clipped, and it kind of just spun like a big cylinder that just kind of rolled down the runway, and it ended up on its end, and the wheel, the nose wheel was sticking up. And from our perspective, excuse me, you couldn't really make it out. I was trying to figure out what I'm seeing, and all I see was just something sticking up in the air. It kind of, from a distance, it kind of looked like a submarine almost, but you know, in reality, it was laying upside down, and it got there was no more the other two lining gears just snapped right off. All we could see is the nose wheel is just kind of just sticking up in the air. As far as the crew, luckily they survived. There was a pilot and a co-pilot. There was a total of five people in the plane. There was 3 passengers, because it's a cargo plane, but sometimes they do have some passengers in them, but it's not a lot. But but if it was a passenger plane, a lot of people would have died because of the way it just landed. It kind of just spun around. Everyone would have just kind of went all over the place. But luckily and amazingly enough, all 5 of them crawled out of there and survived. So thank God for that. I mean, it was 20 years ago, but yeah, they survived, which was amazing. They were able to crawl out of the cockpit and survive. But at the time when we were looking at it, we had no idea. So we were kind of just like, whoa, what the heck? And it was kind of like watching a movie, and it's very surreal. I mean, looking at something like that, you wouldn't expect something like that to just happen right off the bat. I mean, we're just kind of just sitting there, all of a sudden, whoa, what the heck? Look at that. And it just crashed. I mean, I could not believe it happened. It was just like land, tip. I mean, we couldn't really make it out, and then all of a sudden, just big ball of flame. We're like, whoa, what the heck happened to our plane? So, and me, kind of acting stupid, and I got on one of the a tug. A tug is those vehicles. If you're at the airport, you see them. They tow around those baggage carts and dollies and things like that. I got on one of them, and I tried to get close to it, but I couldn't really, because by the time I get to the far end of our area of our ramp, Port Authority had already kind of secured the area. And that's one thing though, like if there's an emergency, if something happens to one of the planes, these guys just like react in a manner of not even a minute. They're there, like they're there with their the fire trucks are there. They're spraying foam all over the place so that the flames doesn't spread. Excuse me, I'm sorry. My throat is really dry right now. But yeah, but the plane was total loss. I mean, it was just completely gone. And I mean, it was like I said, it was 12 o'clock in the morning. It happened like approximately around. That's when I started, 12 o'clock. But I think it happened around 1 or something like that. So it was really, really dark. So it was hard. We couldn't really make it out. But during daytime, that's when we really saw the extent of the damage. Like I said, this plane was completely gone, and we still couldn't believe it. Like later on in the day, when we found out that the crew, the pilot and the co-pilot and the 3 passengers survived, we were amazed, and we were looking at that thing. I was like, man, there's no way that anybody could have survived that. I mean, this thing landed hard, tipped on its side, and just rolled. As a matter of fact, a similar situation with another one of our planes, same type of plane, MD-11, in Japan. Similar situation happened, and the pilot and the co-pilot didn't survive. That was in I don't remember what year it was, but it was Flight 80. I'll link the article on that one also, so you see that. So it's similar situation, landed hard, bounced up in the air, and then just did a cartwheel. But the pilot and the co-pilot on that one did not survive. So the one that I witnessed, whoever was the passengers and the crew, they were lucky to be alive. And this happened before social media. So what I did after I was able to, I got a chance to get inside, called my wife. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning at that time. This is before social media and cell phones. So just went ahead and called her. I told her, just listen, when you're gonna wake up early in the morning and you're gonna see us in the news, and I just want to let you know that I'm okay, and one of our planes crashed, and you're probably not gonna see me for a while because I'm gonna be here for a while. Yeah, and I started that day at 12 a.m. and I didn't get home till I believe 6 o'clock in the afternoon later on that day, and then I had to go home and then do it all over again the next day. Hope you like this quick story. I hope you like it. I have many more. If you want to hear some more interesting story about the things that I've experienced, please let me know. And if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. And thank you. And thank you for your time. And thank you for watching. And thank you enough. And have a nice day. Bye.
Objectives complete. Death will come when you least expect it.